Hey everyone, what day is today? Today's November 6th, Monday, and it's 2:22 p.m. That's why I can catch myself talking in like some other, you know how people have like a phone voice? That's what I was starting to do. I'm going to catch myself because I don't like talking with the phone voice, podcast voice. I just like talking how I always talk. I was just looking at, I wanted to talk about, because if you, it's not that easy, that's why I haven't posted a podcast in a few weeks. I'm like, how do I start? What do I say? Like, you all are in my mind. What do I explain? Everything. I'm like, can I just talk like I always talk and think that no one will listen, and then people listen? And I'm like, oh, okay, but whatever. I wanted to talk about, I changed, like, what really changed my life, and I think, like, makes my why, part of the reason why this podcast is called Why Life with Lucy Sims. My life hasn't been the same since my dad died. That was really what made me try to start searching more why. But why was my favorite question as a kid, and every time I'd ask my parents why over and over again, like, about one certain subject, and the answer would always be, like, because God. I've said that before. Don't know why I have to point that out. Yeah, that's always my favorite question. I'm, like, the most curious person in the world. Very much. Or I'm just very curious. I have always wondered why. I feel like I would see things, or just, like, that's my favorite question. Why? And then when I didn't get a reason why for my dad dying, I knew there had to be a reason why, because everything was, like, always because God, but then it's like, why did God take him? Like, and for no reason too, and it just made me keep searching, and ultimately, I wouldn't be who I am today if he hadn't died. And I'm really grateful he did, because, like, it really tested my faith and made me, I started, like, a whole new trials of things, whole new way of thinking. It made me get to know myself deeper, and it made me feel more purposeful. Knowing I could die at any time, any day. That, and, like, for no reason too. Like, God can just all of a sudden, your best friend or someone that could not be there the next day, like, for no reason why. Like, imagine how that, you might know how that feels, and that's why I want to talk about it. Because it wasn't easy. That's why it's been 7 years now. Right before I started this, I was trying to look at, like, old Snapchat videos. That's kind of how I, like, keep up with what was going on in my life then. And sorry, my mom doesn't like my burps. I can't help it though. Like, I think they're spiritual burps, but Oh, now baby's barking. Who's out there? T? She went out the door. Okay, but I mean, it got me into, like, feeling, because I'm in the house. I was in my house when I found out my dad died. I remember exactly where I was. I was on the couch and everything, but, like, I am so... Like, it kind of... Like, I was that person. I just, like, something in me, like... I feel like part of my, like, ego died. It's like I suddenly, like, wasn't a child anymore. Like, all of a sudden, and I had just gotten my license, like, 10 days before he died. And I feel like that was one of the last lessons he needed to teach me, or it was, like, one of the last things he taught me, and I feel like he knew he could guide me better from the other side. Like, I just, it feels so, like, purposeful and divine full the way everything happened. It took me, like, 3 different tries to get my license, the driving test. I passed the written one right away, but I don't know, I'd also just started dating someone, and it'd been, like, a few months, and I was not, like, it was kind of, like, the first person that, like, seemed interested in me and everything, but, like, it ultimately, like, I knew it wasn't right. I just went along with it. I was it felt easier just to conform than do what I individually wanted to do. And yeah, because I didn't like him in the beginning, and then he, like, I always felt, like, a connection with him. Like, he was cool. Like, we had a nice, like, banter and, like, connection that way, but I never felt like... It felt so weird and new to me. Like, that was a whole new life, getting with him. But, like, I mean, there were a few red flags, like, when I met him, but, like, it immediately didn't, just wasn't good for me. Like, I was really, like, putting me on the back burner. I feel like right when I, like, finally was, like, this was a big test, and he roped me in every time. He was very good at that. That's what my dad talked to him, and it was, like, very clear Jackson didn't like that. Like, I remember him, like, breaking up with me, like, after that, being like, your dad hates me, we're done, blah, blah, blah. Like, that would happen all the time, but I remember that being super hard. And I kind of would just, like, do whatever along with what he wanted. He'd be very good at convincing me and was manipulative in that way. But I find my sense of self, I feel like my emotions find a sense of self in relationships, which is, like, a good thing. My emotions are so like wrapped up in other people in a way that how do I say this? I'm trying to continue a thought instead of like just moving on. I thought about moving on like 3 times. But yeah, I mean, I feel like my emotions like have based on like what I'm doing at that point. Well, that's everyone. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna explain it in astrological terms because it's easier. In my moon persona chart, my Sun and Mercury and Mars, or I have like 3 planets of my personal planets in the 7th house of my moon persona chart, which is basically what I'm trying to say. Okay? And so So, I don't know. I blamed myself a lot after my dad died, though. I'm like, if only I could have, if I wasn't with him, like that, this all wouldn't have happened. Like, I said that for a long time and thought that for a long time. And just kind of, I mean, it was really hard to stop thinking that way. It really is. And the only reason why I kind of like not think that way anymore, or have realized that was like untrue, well, is by realizing it was untrue. But like I had to accept the fact that there was nothing I could do about it. Like, nothing is going to bring, nothing's the same. Nothing's the same. I'm not in control. That was the biggest reason, or one of the biggest lessons for my dad. I am not in control. I'm playing with crayons. Yeah, we're not in control in this life, and that's very, like, you learn that lesson at some point, and we'll keep being taught that lesson throughout this life, I think. Yeah. And being 16 was a very interesting age. I feel like some of my siblings were like 23 and I'm 23 now, and I imagine what it's like to lose my dad now, and that's this is like a very crucial age. I mean, every age is crucial, so that's what's hard. The way like Jesus died for, like he says, our Father died for our sins so we get to live, stuff like that. Like, that's what I feel. I feel like my dad died, and I really, like, I see, like, the truth and the light now. And what really brings me peace is, like, knowing I feel like I can talk to him. I mean, because you realize at some point, like, wanting them to still be here, that's selfish. It is. So that's what, it's been a lot of, like, releasing my ego and everything. And just recognizing the spiritual aspect of life. There's so much that we don't see. So I'm also, like, baby staring at me. I'm very spiritual. Like, I see that in everything. I'm always thinking about it in my head. Like, always. I always think there's a spiritual reason for everything. And there's a lot that we don't see. As when I was, like, what has helped me, I was always very shy. Like, I always wanted to not be, but then I think I feel so much. That's what I feel is very spiritual. Because I think it's like gifts. Like, it is a gift. How much I feel. And then I get, like, knowings behind the feelings. And that's what has always just been way too, like, a lot to handle. And I would try to ignore it. And I was, like, scared of it. And just trying to survive. I was really in survival mode up until my dad died. And then that's why I think one of the, like, first decisions, like, was to find my dad with my boyfriend at the time. Like, I take full responsibility for all my actions. But, like, so check out my podcast bio. I was a real people pleaser. Really good one. And it's hard. That's why I think, like, all this stuff is, like, I've realized a lot since my dad's death. I've realized so much. And I don't think, like, I don't know what would have happened if he was still here, but I wouldn't be who I am. And I'm glad that I'm doing this. I'm glad that I can talk to people now. I'm glad that I'm doing what I want to do. I'm very glad. I'm proud of myself, and I know he would be proud of myself too. It's a lot, though. That's what having faith takes. Endurance and risk. It takes a lot of risk. That's what I was going on to say. Like, I was so scared as a kid and shy, and, like, a lot of not great things I let pass by, and I was always hoping that one day it would all be worth it. And I by hope, like, that my hope was, like, a knowing. Like, I betted on that hope. I took risk on that hope. That was everything to me. And I see it now. Like, everything that I've done has happened to me. Like, everything is just, they all each have, like, a reward or a consequence. Like, everything has a consequence. Everything, we reap what we sow. I don't know. I was just, like, willing to endure a lot for that one day when I didn't have to, but I wasn't taking action on anything either. Like, I was just, like, waiting for it to happen, and that's not a way to live. We shouldn't just wait for things to happen. We need to do it ourselves with the help of God. Like, you can't do everything yourself, but that's what God works through us. If you ask him, let him. This carpet, something smells. But that's what I would be crying out to God, screaming, crying, like, every single day, like, a million times a day. I call myself a professional crier because I cry so much, and always have, always will. I'm a feeler. That's it. That's who I am. Gotta love it. Gotta embrace the gifts God gives us, okay? I would just hide my feelings and let it, not talk about it, just listen to everyone else, and then I would burst every once in a while. That's not great. We shouldn't hold in our feelings till we burst. We should talk about them. Everyone should have a podcast and just talk about our feelings. We'd all be so much opener. Yeah, I really want to just help people going through grief. Because there's purpose in the grief. There is. There's growth in it. And there's the lessons we learn. I learned so many lessons from my dad now. I'm always like, what would Dad do? It's always the best people they take. Ain't that the truth? Like, why? But death is like a rebirth for everyone. For them, they're starting a new life with doing who knows what. No one knows what happens when we die, but I just know there is life after death. Because that doesn't make sense to me. When people say it just goes black, I'm like, I don't... That's like my question. I'm like, does it just go black? Like, what do you mean? I don't know. I think there definitely is, like, transition. And that's why I, like, know... I've had experiences where I, like, feel my dad with me. And it's like, I've definitely thought I was crazy and everything. And it's like, I'm at the point where, like, I kind of know that I'm not. Because this shit has just been proved to me over and over again. I'm tired of... God has shown me so many times that it is. My dad has shown me so many times. Like, I just know now. I don't doubt myself. Sometimes still do. I'm not perfect. I mean, but I gotta think about the truth. I heard something the other day. Someone said, if you believe you're thinking, that's like an entity or saying. Like, if you're thinking, like, you know you're thinking because that's like a whole different, like, mindset. If you believe you're thinking and it's like telling the negative self and you're like assuming things, like, that's like a demon entity or something. Just like not listen to it, get rid of it. There's a lot of ways to get rid of stuff. So I've really, after I kind of ended like a lot of relationships that weren't serving me, I started doing like a lot of work on myself. That's why I filled out journals like every day, all the time. Like, I have a lot of them. A lot of them was like I was trying to train my brain to not think about stuff. And it's like I was driven to do this. Like, something was driving me to, or like I wanted to do it. I wanted to not be where I was anymore. That's what made me to, like, finally let go. I just, like, closed my eyes one day, and it was, like, such bliss. I felt like I met God, and I met my dad. I didn't want to open my eyes. Like, I just wanted to stay in that, like, meditative state. I don't know where I was, but, like, it felt like heaven. I was in that, like, meditative state for, like, 10 hours. I was on someone else's porch. Otherwise, I would have stayed there, maybe. But that really changed my life. I was like, oh, shit. Like, something's inside me. That's why it felt like heaven. Like, I really... Like, that's possible for us. I was just like, whoa. Like, I don't need anybody. Oh... And then I started learning lessons and everything. People pleasing, that's still... I'm continually learning lessons. We all are. That's something else I learned from my dad. Like death, like I started recognizing like patterns. So at my dad's memorial service, I got up and read. I don't know if I said that, but I was thinking about it. I just had a feeling to go up and read. And it's like I did it, and I did pretty good. I felt like I had to. I'm like, no one else is going to? Like, someone in our family has to. So I'm gonna do it. Or, like, I'll do it. Like, I just felt like someone had to. And I wanted to. I felt like it was, like, my purpose to. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here talking to you all, because I know I'm not the only one that has lost my dad. I know I'm not the only one that has lost someone unexpectedly. We're all gonna lose somebody. Ironically, I kind of liked the song, We're All Gonna Die Someday, we're all gonna die someday, we're all gonna die someday. It would play on Outlaw Country. My mom would play that station. It was funny. I would sing it. But it's true, like, we all are. We're actually... I mean, if we, like, continually die and grow, like, it's a continual ego cycle, consciousness cycle that we're on. And it's beautiful. But that's what I can't bring my dad back. We can't bring back anyone. They're still with us in a different form, trying to teach us lessons. That's what life is about. Why life? Because we learn a lot of lessons. And I think God created this Mother Earth, whatever, this earth, where we can learn these lessons. Like, this is, like, the only place where we could do this, right? Like, heaven's not like this. I don't know, there's only, like, one earth, so let's try to make it, like, the best earth. There's a lot of shit going on, as always. There's always a lot of shit going on. But that's why we all really have a difference. My dad, the amount of people that came to his funeral was amazing. Like, he impacted so many lives. And we have the power to do that. Like, if you want to die, I hope none of you will want to die with, like, and not think you have an impact on people. You do, you have a gift, you have a light, and it's beautiful. You either shine or you suck light from people. So let's all try to choose to shine. Like, warm up places where you go, make places warmer. I don't know, just you're here for a reason. You are. So I'm going to end it right there. I was trying to do soundboards and do sounds. I got some meme apps on my phone. I don't know if they'll work. Oh, people have also told me I have a soothing voice. I kind of want to do affirmations. Did I ever say... So when I was writing in my journals, I would write affirmations over and over again. I think that really changed my mind. I don't think I said that. But I might do, like, podcasts of those, or, like, on YouTube. I don't know. That, like, we need to train our mind to do that. Writing it, saying it out loud, like, over and over again, it really does do powers. So that'll really help. If you feel like you have a negative voices in your head, like, going on and on that aren't true, like, and you want to change your mind, I recommend that. Listening to it. I would listen to I sometimes still do, like, sleep, or do hypnosis videos. You can do some, like, while you sleep to try to, like, feel self-worth, self-love, all of those. Look up positive ones. Because we're all light here to share. I am connected to all things. That's on my wall. All love, love all. Okay. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. It's 2:52 now. And yeah, it's a beautiful day. Love y'all. I'll talk to you all soon. Next Monday. I'm trying to do it regular now. Or sooner than that. I like Mondays. It's ruled by Cancer. Or it's ruled by the moon. And I'm very Cancer. Okay, I'm gonna say bye now. Bye.